Werner Karl Heisenberg was born in Wurzburg, Germany, on December 5, 1901. His father was a professor of classical languages, shaping an environment rich in academic pursuits. Heisenberg pursued physics and mathematics at the University of Munich under Arnold Sommerfeld, completing his doctorate in 1923. He quickly became involved with the burgeoning field of quantum physics, working alongside prominent figures like Max Born in Göttingen and Niels Bohr in Copenhagen. During this period, physicists grappled with the inconsistencies between classical physics and phenomena observed at the atomic level. Existing models like Bohr's atomic model were useful but incomplete. In the year 1925, while recuperating from severe hay fever on the island of Heligoland, Heisenberg formulated a revolutionary approach. He abandoned attempts to conceptualize electron orbits, focusing instead only on observable quantities like the frequencies and intensities of emitted light. Subsequently, Heisenberg developed matrix mechanics, the first mathematically consistent formulation of quantum mechanics. Collaborating with Max Born and Pascual Jordan, he established a theoretical structure based on matrices to represent physical quantities. This new physics yielded startling implications. In 1927, Heisenberg articulated his famous uncertainty principle. He proposed that it is fundamentally impossible to simultaneously determine certain pairs of a particle's properties, like its exact position and exact momentum, with unlimited precision. The uncertainty principle was not about limitations of measurement tools. Rather, Heisenberg argued it was an inherent property of nature itself. Measuring one property more precisely inevitably introduced greater uncertainty in the other. For his foundational work in creating quantum mechanics, Heisenberg was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for the year 1932, announced in November 1933. His contributions fundamentally altered the understanding of the physical world. Throughout the era leading up to World War II, Heisenberg remained in Germany despite the rise of the Nazi regime and the exodus of many Jewish scientists he knew and respected. His decision was complex, rooted partly in a sense of national loyalty and a desire to protect German physics. As events unfolded during World War II, Heisenberg became a leading figure in Germany's nuclear energy project, known informally as the Uranium. The project explored the potential for nuclear fission, including the possibility of constructing a nuclear reactor or an atomic weapon. A highly debated event occurred in September 1941 when Heisenberg traveled to occupied Copenhagen to meet with his mentor, Niels Bohr. The precise content and intent of their private conversation remain subjects of intense historical discussion, with questions surrounding whether Heisenberg sought Bohr's help, warned him, or tried to ascertain Allied progress. The German nuclear program ultimately failed to produce a weapon before the war's end. Factors contributing to this included theoretical miscalculations, resource limitations, Allied sabotage efforts, and perhaps a lack of unified drive compared to the Manhattan Project. After the war, Heisenberg and other key German scientists were detained by Allied forces at Farm Hall in England from July 1945 to January 1946. Their conversations were secretly recorded, providing insights into their wartime work and reactions to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Subsequently, Heisenberg played a crucial role in the post-war reconstruction of science in West Germany. He became director of the Max Planck Institute for Physics, initially in Göttingen and later moved to Munich. He advocated for peaceful uses of nuclear energy and was a signatory of the Göttingen Manifesto in 1957, opposing the West German military acquiring nuclear weapons. Werner Heisenberg passed away in Munich on February 1, 1976, leaving behind a legacy as one of the 20th century's most influential and controversial physicists. Following his return to Germany and the re-establishment of his institute, Heisenberg focused his later scientific efforts largely on searching for a unified field theory. He sought a fundamental equation that could describe all elementary particles and forces. During this period, he published numerous papers attempting to formulate such a theory, often collaborating with colleagues like Wolfgang Pauli. However, unlike his groundbreaking work in quantum mechanics, these later efforts did not achieve widespread acceptance within the physics community. Beyond pure physics, Heisenberg engaged deeply with philosophical questions arising from quantum mechanics. He wrote extensively on the relationship between science, philosophy, and religion, exploring the implications of the new physics for understanding reality and human knowledge. His book Physics and Philosophy, based on lectures delivered in 1955 and 1956, became influential, articulating his views on the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics and its broader consequences. He emphasized the role of the observer and the limits of classical concepts at the atomic scale. Throughout the later decades of the 20th century and into the 21st, the debate concerning Heisenberg's actions during World War II continued. The release of Bohr family documents pertaining to the 1941 Copenhagen meeting shed further light, though interpretations remain divided. Some historians argue Heisenberg actively tried to slow down or sabotage the German bomb project, while others maintain he worked diligently but failed due to practical and theoretical obstacles. The Farm Hall transcripts provide evidence supporting various viewpoints, showing both ambition and miscalculation. Regardless of the controversies surrounding his wartime conduct, the scientific contributions from his earlier career remain monumental. Matrix mechanics provided one of the essential mathematical frameworks for quantum theory. Subsequently, the uncertainty principle became not just a cornerstone of physics, but also permeated popular culture and philosophical discourse, often symbolizing the limits of human certainty and predictability. Its precise meaning continues to be analyzed and debated by physicists and philosophers alike. Werner Heisenberg's life encapsulated the triumphs and tribulations of 20th century physics. His work fundamentally reshaped scientific understanding, while his choices during a tumultuous historical period ensure his legacy remains complex and subject to ongoing scrutiny. In the immediate post-war years, Heisenberg dedicated significant energy to rebuilding the scientific infrastructure within West Germany. He believed strongly in the importance of fundamental research for the nation's recovery and future. He actively participated in the creation of the German Research Council, Deutscher Forschungsrat, serving as its president initially. This body aimed to promote scientific research and advise the new federal government on science policy. Subsequently, Heisenberg championed international scientific cooperation. He recognized that German science, isolated during the Nazi era and the war, needed reintegration into the global scientific community. He traveled frequently, delivering lectures and participating in conferences, gradually rebuilding relationships with physicists worldwide. Despite the lingering questions about his wartime role, his scientific stature remained immense. In the year 1958, the Max Planck Institute for Physics, under Heisenberg's directorship, relocated from Göttingen to a larger, newly built facility in Munich. This move signified the successful re-establishment and expansion of cutting-edge physics research in Germany. During this period, Heisenberg continued to mentor young physicists, fostering a new generation within Germany. His influence extended beyond theoretical physics into the broader organization and direction of scientific endeavors. He remained married to Elisabeth Schumacher, whom he had wed in 1937. They raised 7 children, providing a stable family life counterbalancing his demanding professional and public roles. As events unfolded through the 1960s and early 1970s, while his pursuit of a unified field theory did not yield the hoped-for breakthrough, his earlier work remained central to physics. Quantum mechanics, which he co-created, continued to be the essential framework for understanding the subatomic world. Werner Heisenberg's legacy is thus twofold: foundational scientific discoveries that revolutionized physics, and a complex personal history intertwined with one of the 20th century's darkest chapters. His formulation of matrix mechanics and the uncertainty principle endure as pillars of modern science. Subsequently, the impact of the uncertainty principle extended far beyond theoretical physics. Its implications regarding inherent limits on knowledge resonated through philosophy and even influenced public understanding of science itself. Heisenberg's championing of the Copenhagen interpretation, developed largely with Niels Bohr, shaped the dominant view of quantum mechanics for decades. While alternative interpretations later gained traction, the Copenhagen perspective remains a crucial reference point. Throughout the later part of his life, Heisenberg frequently spoke on the relationship between human intuition and the counterintuitive nature of the quantum world. He explored how language itself struggled to capture phenomena operating outside classical experience. His work continued to underpin developments in particle physics and quantum field theory, even as the field moved towards new models like the Standard Model. The mathematical tools he helped forge remained essential. In the years following his death on February 1, 1976, biographical studies and historical analyses continued to dissect his life and decisions. Access to previously unavailable archives, including more detailed Soviet intelligence reports on the German nuclear program, added further layers to the historical assessment. The ethical questions raised by his involvement with the Uranium persist as a case study for scientists navigating political pressures. Debates consider the complex interplay of nationalism, scientific ambition, and moral conscience during conflict. Werner Heisenberg's name remains indelibly linked with the quantum revolution. His contributions provided fundamental insights into the strange workings of the subatomic realm, forever changing humanity's perception of physical reality.